I just posted a video about being grateful for being a parent. I posted this on my video before, on my channel before, but the reason why I decided to create Mother-Daughter Healing Journey is because my parents died young. My mom died at 46. My dad was 41 years old. And by the time my mom died, I was 28. I was my mom's only child. I was my dad's oldest child. He had two other kids as well. He had a total of three kids. And we didn't get to have the closest relationship before they passed. Me and my mother had become way more closer because the last 4 years, the last 6 years before she passed, she had turned her life around. Um, any other videos that y'all see, my mom was on drugs. Both parents actually were on drugs, and as a result of their addiction, they actually died as a result of it. But my mom was able to get her life together and got a job and everything. I was very proud of her. Then she ended up getting sick later on, and it became a chronic illness. And so when she passed, it was the realization that, oh my gosh, I don't have either one of my parents. And I'm 28. I found out from, my therapist, not the one that I currently have, but the one that I was actually doing counseling with during COVID, that your brain doesn't develop until you're 25 years old. So I was 28, but prior to that, I didn't make the best choices when it came to me doing some of the work as a child to build a stronger bond with my parents. So I had a lot of regrets. I had a lot of questions. I finally was at a point to where I was like, hey, what happened to you? Me not being selfish, as selfish, because we think as kids we take everything so personal because we are very selfish people, period. Human beings were very selfish, but definitely kids, they so self-consumed, as they should be, until we teach them better, right? And so I did not have the opportunity to ask all the questions to that I wanted. Me and my mom, we were good. There was no bad blood. We were good. But I was still hurt from the absence of her during my childhood, and it carried over to a lot of the decisions that I made. I had some resentment towards her that I never would discuss because when I respected my mom, I never would have came to her disrespectfully, but I felt that I would hurt her feelings to really express how I really felt, which was part of trauma too, because a kid is in our community is really told you should be seen, you should be seen, not heard, and we can't really speak our mind because it's considered disrespectful, but really you're just expressing yourself. No one told us the other part of it, like, hey, tell me how you're feeling, um, but do it respectfully. So I think that's why a lot of us now are doing our best to correct a lot of the things that we felt were not right growing up. So, anywho, with my daughter, I said, you know what, Lord forbid I die early, but I refused for her to be standing over my grave, or she decided to cremate me, that she looking at an urn and she trying to ask me questions, you know. And so I said, I wasn't the best parent. There are things that I can actually do better. I took accountability for things that I know um, I never thought that I would actually do as a parent. I felt like I would have more patience. I would do better than my parents. And in my own way, I made very, very similar mistakes, but it was just different. But it still affected her negatively. So I just decided that I wanted to do the mother daughter healing journey. So one day I told her, I said, hey, I said, you're not responsible for what happened to you, for some of the things that happened to you as a child, but you're responsible for getting those things healed on what happened to you. So and so you are able to come to me, once you get therapy or have any questions. It must be respectfully because I will respect you. And so That is the reason why I started the mother daughter healing journey, because I want to break generational curses in my family. I saw so much toxicity on, even my mom and my grandmother relationship. I've just come to realization that I've never seen them hug. If anything, they were always arguing. It was so normal that I'm 49. I think I came to that realization like last year at 48. I say, well, you know what? Now my mom, she loved on me a lot whenever she was around. She always told me she loved me. She was always giving me hugs. Um, but yeah, so it's just like I didn't want to carry that over with my daughter. And one of the main things, this channel is for me to show you my journey to success. I say I'll be darned if I'm in the room with a bunch of millionaires, billionaires, and very successful people, and I have this great relationship with them, but I don't have the best relationship with my daughter. Now it's two-sided. So either she could have, rejected me saying, "Hey, let's work on being better." It wasn't horrible, but it definitely needed some improvement. And so we're like 9 years into the healing. So I've done a lot of work. I'm talking about thousands of hours of conversations. Um, we have some very uncomfortable conversations. It's not like, oh, it's just peaches and cream and just roses and rainbows over here. No, we have some very uncomfortable conversations, some tough conversations, but we're respectful with it. And so I just was reflecting on that, especially with the losses that we have. And one of the main losses that we had on Sunday, I can see the hurt with the kids, and that was triggering for me. I just pray that to parents and children, that whatever we can do, let's do our best to slowly heal those wounds and break those curses, and be the one that be the trailblazer, be the one that say, hey, no, it starts with me, and it stops with me. The past relationships of not having the best relationships, but now we're going to work on having the best relationship. And it is a lifetime journey. Again, we're like 9 years in and we don't got it right. We still get on each other's nerves, and she don't necessarily always express it. I don't necessarily always express it, but one thing that we can do is sit down and have a civil conversation. So hopefully this helps someone. Hang in there. It's not the easiest thing to have, these little tiffs and little beasts with your kid, but it is repairable in most cases. And again, every scenario is different. So this is not a one size fits all. In some situations where, parents cut kids off and kids cuts parents off. And when I tell you, I've heard some horrible stories, and I can absolutely understand it. I just know that in the Bible it says that we must respect our kids, and then, he also hold the kids responsible to respect their parents. So it's two-sided. So we're supposed to respect one another. And sometimes that actually is a stand away from that parent, mom or dad. So just hang in there. But you got to do the work, as Iyanla would say. You got to do the work. Y'all have a great evening. Talk to you later. Thanks for watching my channel.